So welcome to the 7th Dr. Lawrence and Mrs. Roberta Cohn Visiting Professorship Lecture. We're so privileged again this year to be joined by the Cohn family. Roberta and Jennifer, thank you again for taking time out to share this special event with us. So it was wonderful to welcome you back to Stanford. A little backdrop on that video. That was Larry's favorite song and harkens back to a time when he met a young woman, Roberta, and they were actually middle school, high school. Middle school, yeah, so you got it right the first time. Middle school classmates up in San Francisco, and spent quite some time together. I want to start by thanking Maggie and Luke and Deb for all the arrangements. These events can never happen without the amazing coordination by our team. And of course, I will introduce and thank our special guest, Dr. Taweesak Chotivatanapong. So I'm the only person around here that can say that word, those two words. But I wanted to start this with a little quote or a little segment from Dr. Cohn that ties in to everyone in this audience. So,
well, my name is Lawrence H. Cohn, MD. I have been at the Brigham Women's, formerly the Peter Ben Brigham, since 1971. I am the former chair of cardiac surgery, and I'm a Harvard professor of cardiac surgery at Harvard Medical School. I was going to be in internal medicine, to tell you the truth, until I went to the senior clinician there, David Rycan, and I said, Dr. Rycan, I like medicine a lot, the influential, the academic stuff is great, but I want to be in an area that I want to really do something for people. He said, oh, you want to go into surgery? So I walked out of his office and never looked back. I really enjoyed it. And 1 week, I never went home for a whole week. I stayed in the hospital at Stanford. I came home and I said, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. I got to do it. It's very unusual for a surgeon to have a medical man as a mentor, but I consider Gene Brownwell a mentor because he was so academic. I did actually independent investigations with his guidance. I had a job offer I couldn't refuse. I had met John Collins, who at the time was chief of cardiothoracic surgery at the Peter Ben Brigham. John recruited me, and one day we were sitting down having dinner, and he made the most incredible job offer one could ever have. I said to him, I said, Jack, the final question I have before I come, he had already offered me the job to come in July after I finished my training. I said, you with Dr. Harkin, and you had this nice work here, but what you do technically is so different than what I learned at Stanford in this last year. He said, that's exactly why I'm hiring you. I want you to come here and change everything the way you did it at Stanford. So I said, how can I turn a job like that down? And true to his word, when I got here in July, he says, go down to New York and change everything. I want you to do it. I want me to do it the way you learned it at Stanford because you got the best results in the world. I had the privilege of doing 11,000.
So you heard what he said. He said up at Harvard, they wanted him to do things the way he did it at Stanford because they had the best results in the world. And so for all of you that are training, or any of you that trained around the time together with Dr. Cohn, I think that really resonates. And just imagine those of you that are going through the residency now, someone like Dr. Cohn, who was a stellar resident, who then went on to be a leader at Harvard, and then the editor of our journal, the president of our AATS, and a world pioneer. That's what your future holds for you. And I think that's how this all links together. So, and I think you also saw that he himself became an amazing mentor and educator. And in that one photo, if you're really paying attention, you saw Tommy Halevich, who is now the head of the entire the CEO and the head of the entire Cleveland Clinic, and also one of our former Cohn professors. And also, as you know, Dr. David Adams, who is quite well known in our field. He's also one of Dr. Cohn's most famous trainees. And there's a whole laundry list of others. But again, I think that's what the future holds for you here training at Stanford. So we owe a lot to Dr. Cohn for all this pioneering work in clinical care, in research, and in education. And it is a unique honor to welcome Dr. Taweesak Chotivatanapong, who is one of the world's most famous mitral valve surgeons, unquestionably the pioneer in rheumatic mitral valve repair, something that we all have a difficult time with here in the United States, but he makes it look quite easy. Somehow, in his hands, they can just take patients with stenotic and regurgitant rheumatic fibrotic mitral valves and reconstruct them to look completely normal. And I remember the first time I ever saw him show a video of this, I was astonished. And then to actually watch him do the operation live, I thought, wow, this is the real deal. This actually happens. And it's really a tribute to you, Taweesak, that your teaching of all of us has actually brought this technique to the Western countries. And we're all using this nowadays, albeit not quite as good as you can demonstrate, but I think we're helping our patients throughout the world because of you. So Dr. Taweesak also had a linkage with Dr. Cohn, which I think he'll describe, but one that I think he won't describe is that he's also quite a singer. And so I thought it would be fun to start this, this lecture with a little bit of music. So I'm not sure if we can get him to have a couple glasses of wine tonight and maybe sing a thing or two, but certainly in Asia, when they have a lot of karaoke, etc., he's quite famous for getting up there. And he's actually gotten some, not me, but other very well-known surgeons to get up there and do some duets with him. So with that, can we welcome Dr. Taweesak Chotivatanapong as our co-professor.
I would like to say that it is a very special day for me to be here and to say that Dr. Lawrence and Mrs. Roberta Cohn Visiting Professorship lecture, something unthinkable. And when Professor who approached me to talk, I feel very wow. It's my day. But at the same time, immediately, I feel very humble and very challenging because Professor Lawrence Cohn is one of the world famous, and he was respected as master of the master. His work is just incredible. And when I explore more about the speaker, previous 6 speakers, the first is David Allen, followed by all the big, something unthinkable is found. So most of them are friends of my mentors. So it's a big job because it's not just a talk. It's a talk that how we can honor this great man, this great surgeon, in the proper way, in the best way, not proper way. So I've been thinking a lot. I myself don't have the luck to train with Professor Cohn directly, but his work influenced me a lot. So I think that maybe the best way is to use my own experience, my own work that has been influenced by pioneer and also Dr. Cohn's way of thinking technique, and share with us how this impacts the way of practice and the life of the patient. So I think the word repairing valve, because Professor Cohn is very good in repairing valve and repairing life, not just the life of the patient, but the life of all the loved ones that love the patients. I think that this may be good and share with you how we struggle to make it happen and prevail, sustain, and prosper in our area, and the impact of this education as well. So I have nothing to disclose. I think that Professor Cohn has been well known as master because he trained under the world-renowned Professor Shumway at the Stanford and spent 45 years at Brigham Women's Hospital, became the chief of the cardiac surgery for more than many years, from 1987 to 2005. More than 11,000 cases, and trained more than 150, and 30 of them become the world leaders. Published so many articles, write so many chapters. So this is actually great party. So repairing valve and repairing life, my talk will spread between 4 parts. The first is how did we learn and apply and multiply. We need to multiply because the pathology is totally different. And how did we start? This is important. And pursue to achieve our goal through many obstacles, problems, and prejudice. And our plan for the future, how to sustain and make the future prosper, and even bigger. And the final remark to the people who helped me to come to this point. I think the essence of my whole talk is start with the passions. Love is the key and the heart of this mission. The vision that guides your way. Perseverance that makes the dream come true. And support and friendship that is an invaluable asset to make sure to guarantee the success. And to share that can sustain and secure the future. So I would like to start my talk with my first mitral valve repair patient after I came back from Australia, 34 years ago. And this case really inspired and changed my way of thinking. She was just 16 ago, diagnosed with ASD secondary, with severe MR from rupture. It is very easy and common practice. In 34 years ago in Thailand, cut the valve out, big star ever, and patch. It's good. It will provide immediate good result for sure, but it totally changed the life of this patient for sure as well. She cannot have baby. Her life will reduce half. And she will face a lot of complications in terms of thromboembolic that may burden the loved one. So I decided to do what I see, when I saw from Sydney, Royal North Shore, and I spent some time there, to do something, real valve repair. I did the quadrangular resection, and at that time in Thailand, we have no ring. So we saw the way to do the local annuroplasty and patch. Surprisingly, I prayed through the operation, and the patient came out good. Good, really good. I have to say that even my boss said, And then, 34 years ago, they were spent time in ICU around 3 or 4 days. So we do that, the patient goes out. And we follow, no murmur, we follow very well. 2 years follow-up, no medication. And then, because she lived 800 kilometers from Bangkok. So I sent her back to her hometown, and we lost her follow-up. But she is always in my heart. I keep thinking to Leah because she's inspired me a lot. And then that is a starting point. And when Professor Wu asked me to talk this, my heart is, where is she? And how is she doing? So I began to search. This is Bangkok. And no, it just grows too large. you have to go to something like, that's no. It's close to 800 by flying 1 hour and 3 hour drive. We manage, but you have to find the people first. You change the name. And the family name is there. So we search, set the timing, we find. She didn't take the call because she afraid of the bad people. So we began to search her daughter and asked my secretary, the same age, to talk. And then she takes the phone. And then that's the start of the journey. The reunion, how is the journey? We fly from Bangkok, 1 hour to Ubolak, and then, yeah, we take the team. That's right, 1 hour. It is a lot of fun, but a lot of things to do before we can get it. And drive another 3 hours, until we see the Kong River. And now it's just opposite. That is her home. And this is the first moment I saw. I couldn't keep my tears. I bought. We just have like some people who have been thinking, miss together. It's very emotional. And this is her, 34 years ago, in the middle. And she came with the joy of life, daughter, 2 daughters, one complete lawyer, and one studied the last year. And she began to talk.
เข้าใจแล้วว่าทำไมคุณหมอถึงมา
I
ถึงมาถึงที่
translate
นี่
into English.
มาขนาดนี้ทำขนาดนี้มัน
Listen to her voice.
คงไม่มี
It's very good.
คงไม่มีคุณหมอที่จะเป็นแบบนี้
She believed that I will prove
สักเท่าไหร่
after 34 years.
ที่เรามีพื้นฐานงานไม่ใช่แบบนี้พอมาเจอคุณหมอแล้วแกเข้าใจทุกอย่างมันละเอียดอ่อนมันใส่ใจทุกอย่างไม่ใช่แค่รักษาแล้วทิ้งไปนี่ที่เราทำเลยถ้าจะพูดถึงเราเอาเป็นหลานคนเดียวที่คุณตาคุณยายรักที่สุดถ้าคนนั้นเราไม่ชีวิตกลับมาแล้วก็ไม่มีโอกาสได้
Take care of
ดูแล
her.
คนรอบข้าง
There. Okay. And she's going to keep this in. So that is. This is our team. We spent the whole period from start 5 years before I became father. I learned from the detective movie. Everything, the finance, family is the same, should be the same. And then I would like to start now. This is an impact. Now, when we, 34 years ago, when we would like to do, we need to learn from someone who is expert. The first center that I went is the Royal North Shore Hospital in Sydney in 1993. Then I met Deal, Don Ross. I spent about 6 months. This is the first week I saw modified urodome that I use right now. I saw the way to use the vortex. I saw quadrangular section and no ring, because at that time there's no ring. And I had 2 days with Professor Kapong there in Ho Chi Minh City in 1994. That's magic. That is something click your mind and make your way of thinking suddenly clear. The way he moved. And I have to say that I got all his blessing. Because in this photo, he said something like that. This is a Thai surgeon, all the best. And you see, the finger point to me. So I got everything 34 years ago. Then it's only I got and then persistence. I think that then they have the Dr. Albert Star. And then I take a chance to come to Hope Heart Institute in Newport Beach in 2001. I studied provincial. This is the first time that I learned how to do the intraoperative TEE. And we are the first hospital in Thailand that applied routinely. And imagine, it's a magic as well, because we can learn the way to do the valve repair immediately, not 2 weeks after that. And that's closing the loop of learning so far this technique good, this technique bad, this how to improve something like that. So this is Alan Rainey, and this is, I searched quite a lot. This is a book, notebook that I used in 2001. It's very old, but inside is intact. You see that? I write down every single detail. This is a 42-year severe MR. In that time, they are SAM. They try to use a Pomeroy. They do the Cortex. I jotted down everything because I don't know when I can come back again. I want to absorb every knowledge so that I can use back home to save my things. And then with this, I can understand piece by piece the anatomy and the function. Nature built anatomy with some certain purpose of to do some function. And imagination, sometimes we know, sometimes we need to imagine that why is that? And understanding is crucial for approach, because we can think about using the technique to restore it back. And with all respect to the nature, then we will have a chance to make the repair and do it. This is the only thing that we need to be humble and learn. And principle is the key as a North Star to guide us, not lost the way. Guide the technique. And the technique, it must be flexible to serve the principle, because we have several reasons. This is the way of being flexible, guided by the solid principle is the key. And we need to understand why the valve suddenly bad, because there are some pathophysical triad. The cause that can cause the lesion, the rheumatic is inflammation. Barlow is the problem of the tissue, and then some weak point rupture, degenerative as well. We need to understand. And rheumatic, suddenly we understand that it's not just a systolic problem, it's a diastolic problem as well. So this is the one thing that we learn. And the tips of the iceberg of something we need to understand in depth, so that we are not just to do some job. We need to dig it deeper and treat every single detail as much as possible. Kapong has laid out a very firm strategy, type 1 patient, and remodel. This is still the key that guides us to every time that we do the mitral repair. We need to achieve this. But we need to understand something more about the protective mechanism, just like American football. There are team, and then defensive. How to prevent the systolic pressure. I calculate briefly, if heart rate is 70, and we live 70 years, the heart functions about 2.6 billion times. Bang, bang, bang. The cord will rupture if they don't have the mechanism to spread out this tension and protect themselves. The palpation is one thing. The pliability of the leaflet is another thing to absorb more. It's just like a Chinese tai chi that is absorb more tension. This blowing up will absorb more tension. So in rheumatic, that is why we need to do the peeling to restore the pliability. So the same principle with different pathology, we need different approach and technique. This is true. And we learn from the microdynamic. Every single bit is not just a leaflet and the ball. It provided annulus, cord, papillomuscle, LV, solving. Like that is a team approach. If the dynamic is so detailed, the blood flow to the LA, the mitral valve is actively open, LA contract, leaflet flow, all of this. I've been thinking and read and try to find out how it moves my imagination, so that when we go down, we can pinpoint where is the color. And I cannot solve it until, this is true. This is, I just keep that. This is the back of the boarding pass. I sleep from the flight from LAX to Bangkok. I woke up immediately at night. My dreams clear that every single step is, Allah, road this way, road this way. I asked for every pen to jot it down. You see that I jot it down very quickly. And then when I arrive home, I write it in details. And then I start to dance in my office. Something like that. LA is dilated, active, opening LV. Like, it's not beautiful. So I asked the daughter of my nurse. She practiced Thai dance. I recruit some people technical to take it for. I'm a director to say, is it good meaning or not? The purpose is to have some dynamic movement in your brain so that each single time that you go into the OR, you can feel where is the movement proper, and then you can fix it. Let's see 1 minute. It's very entertaining. Try the dance. I explain to you. This is the blood flow. Slowly go to the LA. Slowly go to the LA. The LA start to dilate. And the mitral valve flow suddenly active opening. And LA contract, brought into the LV contract, the LV contract open, and the system. So this is a complete circle of the mitral dance. So each time that you can see that each movement is not just flow, it must proceed by feeder movement to allow the second third movement. So you can see it just 1 minute, and then I can explain beautifully. And it makes the mitral dance, mitral repair, the art is beautiful. And you have the music in your heart all the time. You can see the black here, this is my room. Taweesak is a director, restaurant dancer, dance designer, and someone asked me for real that why you do that? Well, why you do that? I think it's entertaining is one thing, but deeper than that, too. This is the way a director sees the problem. For example, the rhythm must be sinus. That is the way you move. The movement must be good. This is type 1. It can achieve the palpation. It needs the quality, quantity. If it's like that, it cannot close. You may extend the tissue. If it moves like that, you have to move it up. So that's the type 1. And then when you move, one movement like that. One movement must precede another movement, another movement. That is a sequence of movement that you have to assess and stabilize with palpation and breathing. So all of this make your every single case a very, very entertaining as well as a very good one. That is why I keep this Thai dancing. So when it's become like that, and analogy of this is the rhythm becomes the sinus, the movement type 1, dexterity is the TD movement, the gesture depends on tissue, quantity, and quality. Harmony depends on palpation and support by the annual remodel. This is the key. And I got this from someone's slide. This is a good one you take with them fully. Modify, simplify, and apply. This is the key thing that we need to do in every single subject. That we need to do that. And this is what we did. We began to use now. More than 7 years now, it may come easier. This is the fail. Usually we need to reset or using the cord. But now we can simply just fold it down like a finger. And this fail we anchor to the annulus. You correct the type 1 because the annulus is type 1. You reduce the height to harm. You reduce the problem of SAM. You don't need the cord. You use the body spin suture at the adjacent of the P2 and P3. So within about 6 or 7 stitches, it's complete. And it's very good for MIS. You don't need to do anything sub-annular level. Yeah, like this, you make the anchor of this, you fold it down to the annulus, you anchor to the space to the adjacent side, tie it down with some polyene suture. Usually I use the 5O polyene. And actually put it in the ring, and you begin to see that usually it reduces the cramp time by about 30 or 40%. And it's quite good, very durable, because it's achieved all the goal of the mitral repair laid down by from there in the easy way. With this technique, I reduce the use of coating to less than about 10% and very quick. And this is the bar load at the end. It's long. When you explore that, there are two personalities in this valve. A1 is short, A2, A3 is long. Different pathology, different personality. You can just fold it to the annulus. Then you reduce the height. You correct the movement. It's simple matter suture about 4 to 5 of that. And this is very good because at this part is usually the problem. And the MIS people can do it in a quick way because they don't need, or they reduce the need of their coating. You see that it's beautiful, it's smart to you immediately. You do the simple one. And you encourage it, make it stronger to support this pressure. And put in the ring, it's finished. It becomes easier for us, especially the bottle of this part, because they don't have the diastolic pressure. Now, this is one of the very challenging. This is rheumatic, and there's some rupture of the commissure. In the past, it's very difficult. You have to take it down, cut it out, and then do some sliding plastic with it. It's very difficult. Now we do is I call double bracing. We saw it from modified from Sydney. And make a cut 2 flap. The first flap going down. We need the first flap. Go to the annulus. Use the annulus as a support of the type 1 because annulus is type 1. You anchor it, and then with some several methods, and then cover. You cover the first flap to the second flap to complete this commissuroplasty way. In this way, you correct the type 2, the CBMR from commissure of the A3, C2, P3 by this simple double bracing technique. And this one, we do some of the correction of the fusion and the peeling. Peeling becomes the integral part of the rheumatic because it's disturbed the diastolic function. So we need to peel it, and then amazingly, I learned from Sampath Kumar during the surgery that it can peel this thick layer out and leave behind. Beneath is still the valuable, and usually, sometimes it's bad, okay, but most of the time it's good. And you tie it down, you peel it off. Now you correct the CBMR from the commissure and the commissuroplasty at this. Put in the ring. Usually you get the valve back in a very quick way. So it's become our routine now. When you in the past, when you see these commissural leads and this, oh my dear, can I have lunch? No, it's okay. You can order the lunch because it's quick. And according to our mitral dance pattern, it's correct everything. It becomes the type 2, it becomes type 1, it becomes have patients put in the ring, they become so good. Look at that. Now, it's very tight. Now, this is the very last part during the last 7 years that I tried to fight. It's a severe calcified MS, MR, or calcified MS. Why? Because they're still young. So the rule of thumb is that we have to open it first, no matter what, to do the commissurotomy first. Any cord that look back, cut it out because it's causing restriction and that's severely disturb the diastolic function. You see that I slowly cut all of this cord out and fenestrate. Now we understand the fenestration. Why is that? The cord used to be something like that. And when the flow comes, it's not only the center flow, it goes to the center, the fenestrated channel. That greatly reduces the diastolic pressure. So we need to restore it back. And once we restore it back, now, surprisingly, that this calcified layer, about 50 or 60% of them, still can peel this calcium out. We can peel this with the bunting using like a ping pong. Give and take, ping pong, and then peel it off down to this rub zone. And we have to stop at the rub zone because there is no plane to do that. And then cut it out with sharp scissor. And then the whole body of the anterior and the posterior is now free, fully open. There's no restriction in the subalveolar area with improved fenestrated channel. We can be sure that both diastolic and systolic function will be improved. And then we close something about the calcified problem that we create. And then after putting the ring, then we do more about, you see that we do more about the papillotomy to allow the movement. And then when we test the valve, it's just like a brand new. And within ring, we can be sure that it's without any use for quite a long time. Because its adult rheumatic activity should be decreased or disappear. I think that I will touch one more thing about that. We recently using it in the MR from the IE from infection. And you can see that the vegetation, there's no way that I say to me, if you see something, cut first and think later. You don't know what to do. If you think too much, you waste your time. Think, cut first, anything, anywhere you have to cut. And then we can think back later. And we cut all this vegetation stuff. And save your time. And then this, surprisingly, this vegetation layer can be peeled. To my surprise of that, it can be peeled, and then we can conserve make the cutting less and the use of the pericardium less. And then with this approach, and combined with all the double bracing, folding plastic technique, surprisingly, we reduce the use of the pericardium, the use of the cortex, which is good. To me, this allows the nature to heal, adapt to the new dimension after remodeling without the fixed cord, that is a fixed length, and sometimes become too long when the heart reduce the size. And with this, and we can slowly using the technique that we used before, and trust me, when we put in the ring, it smiles to you again. Yes, so this valve can be done. So with this, all of this improve in the understanding and the technique. I just conclude by myself about up to 16, degenerative 600, mortality is 1.8, IE 129, mortality about 1.5, rheumatic more than 5, now 600 more now, and mortality is 1.4, redo is acceptable, re-repair is 4, and using the double wedge technique for the severe gigantic DML lesion, and very, very good. As I call it butterfly, I call it double wedge. So recently, because I just started to tackle the last stronghold of the rheumatic that is calcifying this, so I make my own summary that is total in the repair. We can repair the pneumatic 109, and the average is about 52. Hospital mortality is quite low. Death is also low. And readmission is pretty acceptable. While result is good, MVA improved, mean gradient reduced, ejection fraction is more or less the same. So we come to this point. We ask ourselves, how valve repair life? Then we have to ask the patient. I use my time to prepare. There's one patient abroad. She studied in New York artist painting. She has a severely leaky valve for long, and then went back to Indonesia. And then she wanted to repair because she is still about 37, 30. So people say that you have to change the valve. She wants to have more baby. She came to me, frightened. We did it the first time, 9 years, still. Come back at the 9 years, some leak, new lesion. Most of them, people say that to change the valve, she's still about 40 something. Mechanical, she doesn't want. She came to me again, asked me to really repair, is it possible? She fall in love with the valve repair. Very easy life. I mean, and she's very active in doing paintings. So I told her, difficult, but that's the way. Yeah, we succeed. This is 2 years after we repaired. Then, with your invitation, I wrote to her, could you just stop by if you have time to tell us why you are so loving the valve repair and how the valve repair impact you, yourself, and your family. And then she agreed.
It's allowing you to welcome the new life.
She has a new baby.
It's your family.
Yes.
So that is fun. And then actually we fix my life also to make you stronger. So my last question to you is we have the topic and the whole conversation surrounding focus on repairing wrong, repairing wrongs. How do you think about this word? These things. Repairing wrong is repairing. How do you feel? Can you say some of your thoughts to us?
Yeah, with one part repair, the quality of life that we have with the repair valve, and bringing, as in my case, I also add another family member. It also brings more life to my life, and having children is also a great gift for a family. So that's how we also with a new life that I have with my repair part, with my healthy part, we also have the responsibility to, in whatever things that we do in our work, in our family life, to always try to touch other people's life and do good for others.
Thank you very much. Really, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You bring joy to my life as well. Thank you very much.
And you are a good.
Okay.
It's hard to find a doctor as humble as you in the SPR.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
You see each other again.
Yeah.
Your father is
He has
also
an arrest here in US.
Thank you.
And that's
Accepted
become my
details, and we summarize all of that, and then let you know. And then when you go and you speak to people, I will keep your video.
Yeah. She paid this one for me. So you can see that she's a famous artist. This is Taweesak. Thank you, Dr. Taweesak. How to remember? Well, I like that. Put in my desk. And she is a very good oil painter. She painted to me, and then I put see something. And then this is the way she worked in Indonesia, Jakarta. She's so talented and very good. She can resume her work the same thing with joy. And that is her dad and also my patient as well. I asked for permission as well. So, and this is the first Indian child, 9 years, that asked me to do the barbie training when she came on in Mumbai. She exhibited 6 hours, 6 hours after the operation. And people ask her, well, what do you feel? I feel good. I'm going to home and pray with my friend. Because before the operation, the 2 friends home and hospital. No school. So this is good. Now she get married already. And this is special. This I don't know. It's a destiny. This young man, due to the pandemic, I skipped my travel. And my friend told me immediately that there is a young man being treated at COVID. The lung is fully whitish color, only to discover that the CBMR from Roberta. Kidney shut off, become coma. So I said, oh, wow, idea. You have to improve the kidney first. And then within a day or 2 after that, stabilize, we did. Good. We can repair this one. We spend another 2 weeks in ICU and another 2 months to recover of the kidney. Good. Because I still remember, this is his sister came to me. Now, help me. Give me back my brother. He is in coma and then turned upside down. I tried. And then his wife gave me back my husband and the father too. And that's a big pressure for me. And finally we managed to do it. And then it still not stopped. A year later, his mother has chest pain and did some choreangiogram and found a very small, tiny stenosis of the circumference. And during the interview, she get worse, fluid edema, and then echo was done, a rupture of the WA. And the child with the same thing is, his daughter came to me, and then we fight this long, because she's all about 70. And then finally we have to change the valve quickly. And then both of them, this is almost 4 years now, they have a very good time, sent it to me, and I said, can I use this photo to tell people about the impact of this valve surgery upon people in the York family? Yes. And this is the daughter with single mom, just recovered from viral pneumonitis, have sudden fluid edema from ruptured cord. She touched my hand, I don't want to die. I'm caring about my mother. We can repair that. 12 years later, she found me. She became the judge. No medication at all. Very healthy. And then this is, the lady want to have baby so much, postponed the surgery for about 15 years. At the time, first day that we repaired this rheumatic, she cried, and then 3 years later, she came to me, I'm going to get married, have baby. Look at that, the different people, so beautiful. I cannot recognize her at all. And this is a young boy, 17, IE. Her mother wait patiently outside. This is the way. This is, all we are doing in the mitral valve is involving the mitral smile. The making the valve close nicely and become the big smile. And I learned from Mona Lisa. I come to Western country. So Mona Lisa smile is my goal. I went back home, it's an Asian smile. This is so beautiful as well. Asian smile. What more important is the patient's smile. They come to you in a very juvenile smile, happy smile, like that. This is the patient's smile. And how about us? We have the right to smile. Here. We are asleep, we are tired, but have to smile. Because we are impressed by the love of the patient in that. This is service. So the true essence of valve repair is not just to get the valve back. We are repairing the valve, the life, not just the patient, but all that love them. And so please repair more. Now, I'm going to touch on something that is quite difficult 34 years ago. Valve repair is a kind of innovation. And I study a lot about the innovation because it will involve change. And change for a human being is a big thing because according to Walter Lilliehine, there are 7 steps. The first step, it won't work. The second step, it won't work in man. It works in dog. After the one successful case, very lucky, very doubtful. 4 to 5 clinical success, highly experimental. After 10, may succeed occasionally. Lastly, so and so it cannot be done then. And the final step, wow, this is a very fine contribution. This is true. My life is the same thing. When we introduce a valve repair, it is the same step by step of resistance. But you know what? There's one thing about Thailand. We are agriculture, and we are still poor. Our hospitals are like that. People sleep in the corridor. We lack everything, manpower, equipment. So how will we be able to do with all of these problems? We have to prepare your mindset. Then I would like you to see this kind of photo. These 2 boys, they can see the puppy there down in the ditch is going to die. They alone cannot put enough. They have to grab the grass, still not good, use the bag, then it's still not good. The dog not a risk. They have to convince the dog, trust me, I'm not going to eat you. Then they use the teeth. Then they become, you see, it become one teeth. 2 baby, no equipment, just love to do. They can save the dog. And okay, we just go our way. And what do we need in order to love them? Because of love. If they ignore, the dog will die. So they try the way, and they love with love the great thing, not from brain. They use it because not being pushed by reward or pressure by punishment. It's frightening. This is something that we learn from these 2 boys. I think we don't just say we don't have anything. We have everything. If you love it. If you love it, you find a way. And you must make your patient trust you. Then they can be your team. Otherwise they will resist. Huh? So there's another problem in Thailand. There's so many problems. They lack everything. And we cannot help. And a lot of excuse. Well, we cannot partial help, cannot do anything good. I think we may have to think the other way. Look at that. They can help the chew. She can walk better. The kids don't have to school. The teacher come up, teach, using the highway as a class, and have the chance to teach the boy. Train them how to be a good people, responsible for the social. You think this is good? He do what he can do. The kid gets the good people. And now, there's the one thing that I like this photo where this handicapped elderly want to cross the street amid the raining. This young girl want to help. The umbrella is too small. So, but they keep walking, walking, walking. At the end, both of them get soaked wet. And people will ask, why you do that? Both of you get wet and soaked. It's different. I think this elderly came back home with a heart warm because someone still cared. And this young lady, good. She did something good. Getting wet is okay. The heart is brought up. I think this is something we learn. Don't care about partial health or health. Do whatever you can do best. And the world becomes a better place to live. And I think that the fact of health is not how much you help, it's how you help. The goal is to help them to strengthen the heart and warm them with love. This is the only thing I learned from my environment, and this is true. This is a 97 years old lady, severe AS. We plan for Taiwan. We cannot do during the pandemic. So she spent every day. I make a search, I think I can do that. I went there, convinced her. She's agreed to do the surgery. Okay, but it's a really stormy also, 6 days in the ICU. I never sleep, and I get ill. Both of us become the patient and get well. So I went to see her. Both of us are the same now, get to take the photo. Because it's good. For me, I get sick because I help another sick. Because she is good, come back to see me in a healthy way. She passed away by natural cause later. And I think that's the one thing that we need to know about when we face this difficult problem. Like the county say, a man is bought a product, what you thought, what you think he will become. If you think we can, we can. If you think we can't, we can't. This is one key thing. So, and then we have to use the imagination, because the knowledge is not answer all. Sometimes it's limited. You need to imagine. And the imagine is important than the knowledge. We come before this Albert Einstein said. And the other thing that you must live as if you were to die tomorrow. Why? So that you work hard every single day. And then you learn as if you were to live forever. You learn the new thing every single day as well. Like Professor Cohn, and he still makes so many things in his time. Huh? And this is one thing that's important. We know the excellent, and people didn't dare to do that because they don't want to risk. But if you are a leader, you need vision, and you need the courage to lead. Look at this photo. I like this for everyone. You see the cattle? They're small. They are walking. They may fall down. A lot of people want to walk, and then is that okay? Is that okay? The same thing. When you do the world fair, there are so many people watching you. Is that good? Is this good? If you're bad, I say that. But if you're good, maybe we can try. So you need to take the risk as a leader. Always. If you do some new thing. And unfortunately, people say it's talent, genius, education. No, it's persistent, perseverance. It's just like Thomas Alva Edison tried 10,000 things. People say they failed. He said, I just discovered something didn't work. So this is something persistent. And the people that taught me a lot, incredible, I met during the meeting with Professor Schumann. He is Spanish. Francisco Torres. He's the one who discovered the muscle that wrapped into the four chamber. And in his lecture, he said he spent 50 years trying to find and summarize. And went back home, I couldn't resist to write a letter to him. And then, with 50 years, you not only taught me the knowledge of science, but also great scientists. And most of all, human beings. Thank you very much. I didn't expect any return of the email. 2 days later, he wrote back. And then later, as you all make me think that this has been worth it to be working during 50 years. I want you to know you can ask me for any data you need. I got all the data you get. But it's not the thing that I got. It's the heart that I got. The persistence, the perseverance. Doing every single day without a hope, just do it. And I think that's a great thing. And it's already 10. Can you give me another 10 minutes? I think too much. I'd like to share about the attitude, about the state of uncertainty, success and failure, and incertainty. That's, I have to say that in my field of stable is a lot. It's not just the people, it's the policy, it's the changing, the uncertainty. I think that then, I think about the water when we face the obstacle. The water is soft, very unbreakable. No one can break the water. You cut it, it's still there. Just look very quiet. We have to keep our mouth shut sometimes to keep our life. But inside a lot very energetic, ready to move. Very powerful, very times. And then the environment is good, we change to become the ice. When it's good, we become the water. You obstruct, we find a way to move. No one can stop you to move like water. So I wrote this during the meeting of Sanya. Be cool for peace of mind and wisdom of God. Only be cool you can think. And be soft yet unbreakable. Outside is very polite, but you are not breakable. With determination to achieve goals. And quiet, powerful, and full of energy to move when it comes. Solid in principle, you need it. You're flexible enough, you can do whatever is coming and practice in every situation. And that is the way to do it. And then it made me prepare for doing this 34 years. I think sometimes it's a little bit too long now. I try to skip that. One thing that I would like to quote to you is, you need to be humble. Humble is the one of the best quality, because humble's comprised of, you can listen and then you can hear. When you hear, then you have something you can understand. When you understand, you can master, make it better. And then you learn some more new thing. It's an endless story. So humble is always the best thing for us to be humble. And this is my way of life. Let us be humble. Let your patient be always your teacher and your destiny. Be always a little student. Open up your heart. Not enough. Open your heart. Respect the established best, your mentor, but prepare for the future better. And solid in principle, flexible in approach and practice. You have to work hard, persistent, and some luck with it. And this is, we need also train ourselves to be the best. This is a good example of Hudson River Crane Camp. Started by Tom's Hank. I like that, Sully. If you see, I see 6 times. I love when they discuss during the investigation. And then suddenly the bird tube engine gone. You have to land in the river. No one did it before. 155 passengers. Every single one failed. But the people doubt whether you can go back to the airport. By the simulator, they say yes. But Sully said no. If you go back, you die. Because the machine don't have the quality of human beings. They need time. They ask the investigator, how much time you prepare before you use the simulator? 17 times. They have many minutes. They say, we don't have time. We use our experience. And then he proved that is correct. Then they ask some more time. All the simulator failed. That's mean to me. To do the cardiac surgery, you need to do a lot. Gain the experience. So that at one point we can do something that never happened before, because we have the good experience to judge and go ahead and fight. We don't have to. So this is a good movie. I think that you should go spend some time. So I think that this is one thing because it's about the disappointment. The one time that Dr. Kapong have a new text, so they organized a meeting. They asked several key opinion leaders to come to say something. Fred Moore got killed, so they asked a young cardiac surgeon from Asia, you must represent Asia. So I said yes. But when you see that, you see the name of the speaker. Oh my God, you scare me to death. This is an old famous guy, and including also Lawrence Cohn as well. So I use the same tactic. Say something true. I thank you, Professor Kapong, for that Ho Chi Minh City, because it changed me, changed the surgeon. And three things that he said, he made us a better cardiac surgeon. He made us proud to be a cardiac surgeon. And third, make us so proud to be a good human being that we can save people. He come to give me a big hug. 1 month later, to my surprise, when X brought something, his textbook is still not enough. Over inside is Dr. Taweesak in recognition to his passion to reconstruct heart surgery and his dedication to changing the life of children. I keep that in the most safest place. So I think that to come to this level, we need a lot of support. A friend, a regular workshop, every single one you can learn. This is somewhat Kumar that I learned feeling technique, and we have so many friends. With friends, become more. I think Joe, you come very often. I saw it. This Joe, you see that? He's taller. This is Joe again. Become friend, and then this is a Joe again. You see that? He come to Thailand more than 10 times. You inspire that. This is Joe again. So you can see that it starts from academy, fun, and become friends, friendship, last love, and support. And this is something we have fun during the Chiang Mai and Big Ruel. And we are invited to do something even better. I think that this is something, the slide that I like. The friendship, then we respect, and then we support each other. This is it. We start from small things from academies and grow and become healthy. And this is a work that we have to do to help us. Okay, I just 2 minutes. Because of this, the Thailand, we need some people to sustain the future. I organized the foundation, which I'm very lucky because it's all my patient. This one, businessman. I saved, I've already had for 27 years now. This one, a banker. I did for 20 years now. This one is a lawyer, 20 years. In combination, they're good to set up the foundation. Bank, business, and lawyer. So I did it. I'm very lucky man. And one of the project is train the trainer. Is the concept is train people and to bring the advanced and new technology close to the patient. And in this way we have to fly and train them, not fly to solution, fly, train, and then let them stay there. And during this 10 years, I did 52 workshops in Thailand, did 9 grand TTT workshop meeting as well. And I think we must follow Castaneda, our president. It's about responsibility of educators to not only train residents to come here and put stitch there, but to teach respect to human life and responsibility toward our patients, their family, and society at large. And this is true. And then we try. There's a new wave of generation coming back, a new team, a new meeting, new training, new young guy being recruited. This is the first, I'm very proud. First lady surgeon in Laos, the only one, just went back, the first patient, her friend, her middle school friend. She repaired the valve successfully. And then, I think that I have to thank you. My dad say something about my dad. Missionary. He gave me something when I was a little boy, learning English very boring. Then lingophone come. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Oh, I love that. That's why I love English very much, because of my dad. He spent a lot of education. My mom is the kindest mother, very kind, very high self-esteem. When my dad passed away too early, this is me. She act like a mother and protect us. We don't have too many things, but we never lack of love, happiness, laughter, and feeling secure. She's great. She lived happily until passed away. My brother lived in the US for 50 years, support me every time that I came. And he planned to go back, but sadly he passed away during the pandemic. This is my teacher, strict, very strict. I submit my resignation 2 times. I cried. You know, it's too tough for me. And then he said, come on, sit down. What is your identity? I want to be that kind of thing. Then train with me. Then I said, maybe tomorrow he's softer. The same thing, even worse. But if you have 1 minute of time, this is true. I did it for this book. He fell ill, and then I went to see him 2 days before I came here. To pay respect to him, that taught me and shaped me into me today, and to become the lecturer of the 7 Dr. Lawrence and Mrs. Roberta Cohn. It's a very proud moment. I want him to be proud. To say frankly speaking, because he's training so hard that I submit resignation for 2 times. I need you have
ตอน
time.
ผมสอนลูกศิษย์ผมก็บอกผมเนี่ยคุณเพลง
He
จาก
can
นั้นนะ
understand, but cannot talk.
คุณต้องทนกับผมเหมือนกับที่ผมอาจารย์สอนผมแล้วจะได้ดีคนไข้ก็ดีที่ผมเอาวิธีที่อาจารย์สอนกระจายสอนลูกศิษย์ต้องสอนให้เขาเก่งแต่ต้องมีใจให้รักประชาชนรักคนไข้รักเพื่อนผมรักลูกศิษย์เหมือนที่อาจารย์สอนผมไม่ลืมทุก
He cried.
ผมก็รักอาจารย์มากมากมากผมไม่ค่อยได้มาด้วยเพราะว่าผมทำงานแบบอาจารย์ไม่พูดมากทำหน้าผมไม่สนใจตำแหน่ง
So this is what I have done to Patrick in the teacher day, to David Adam, Joe Scott, and President Joe. You truly are our inspiration. More than 10 years you come very often, not just a technique, but you inspire the whole society of Thailand and Indonesia. I can do this. I'd like to thank you so much for all of this. And then it is from my heart to be here is really a great pleasure. The last person, please, I have to say, otherwise I cannot sleep. I met a young beautiful girl in my life. She trusts me, become my wife and mother too. Sacrificed so much. She always my champion. And together we raised our family. Small but happy. My son makes more his wife, our country. success, my daughter, nice, very, very nice. This is Nana, she lived in Singapore. So it's a great pleasure for me to be here and spread the honor, some experience that I will never forget in my life. To give a talk to all the personalities, master of the master. In his 1999 ATS presidential address, what the cardiothoracic surgeon of the 21st century ought to be. There are 11 qualities. First, be an excellent surgeon. Be a physiologist. It's not a physiologist. Be an excellent leader. Be knowledgeable about economy of healthcare. This is important. Well versed to digital technology, which will come and the basis of everything. And be knowledgeable, if not expert, about advances in cellular technology. Be a leader. Be adaptable. Be persistent. I'm always successful. Be proud of our history, of our situation. But most of all, be a humanist. And I think this is so important. It's beyond anything that we must be a better human being to make this world a better place. With this, I would like to thank you. Roberta Cohn Visiting Professor, all of you who patiently listen to my talk. I am very happy today. Thank you very much.